I can assure them, please don't expect the Chinese economy to collapse. Please don't expect the Chinese economy to peak. Western media have done their own populations a great disservice by not telling the truth about China's amazing economic growth and development. Western media often suggests, what a surprise, that China is doing so well. Its economy is growing. This is not real. But what many in the Western media forget is that at the end of the day, China still represents the world's oldest continuous civilization. China has led the world in so many phases of human history. So the return of China today as one of the most successful societies in the world is a perfectly natural development. And so the Western media would do its own populations and itself a big favor by trying to understand better how remarkable China's growth story has been. And I can assure them, please don't expect the Chinese economy to collapse. Please don't expect the Chinese economy to peak. Instead, with all the investment that China has already made in its infrastructure, in its scientific innovation capabilities, and in its people, but with all these investments, China has already prepared itself for another major growth spurt, and that's what the major Western media should look out for. It is true that whenever the Western media speaks about China, they often use the word threat. And to some extent, that's understandable, because clearly Chinese industries are becoming more competitive. So for example, in the automotive area, China is leading the way with its electric vehicles. And sure, this will threaten the established automotive industries. But it is actually the West that taught the rest of the world the importance of creative destruction in the process of economic growth and development. So when new industries emerge, other industries will have to go. And so, for example, we do know that the automotive industry, when it exploded in the United States and Europe, destroyed the horse and carriage industry. That's creative destruction. That's what happens. So instead of focusing on China as a threat, the West should see that China's economic growth and development is in many ways advancing the human condition, because by creating better products, cheaper products, more fulfilling products, China is actually doing the global economy a favor. And the West should learn to work with China rather than to try to suppress China. But of course, the mistake that was made by Western economists is that they did not see that when the Asian countries succeeded in globalization, as a consequence of that, the Western economies had to adapt to this new competition, retrain their workers, develop new industries. But that, sadly, was not done. And so, when the West today is struggling with the return of Asia, it should not blame Asians for the fact that they embrace globalization. They should be critical of their own failure to adjust and adapt to the new competition that was coming from Asia.